Yes, sir.
So that's the first, the foremost request to all of you. Take care of yourself. Education is very important, and we are playing our part. We are trying to take a lecture. We are posting that on Google Classrooms. But at your end, I urge again that please be safe. Uh, Try to follow all those instructions which have been told to us by the authorities, and stay safe. So I want to see your smiling faces in offline classes. So I want you all join in my class, and I see all your smiling faces in front of me. All right. So for this thing, please help me on that part. Promise me you will do everyday exercise. Exercise does not mean that I tell you that you need to go to gym, but at least exercises which will improve your stamina. Include your breathing exercise, so your lungs would be more stronger. Then you can do, kind of aerobics, cycling, these kind of things. Okay, and healthy diet. Right. Okay, let's start a lecture. So yesterday I told you that what we're supposed to do, you should try writing your body part now. Okay, I have posted assignment in your Google Classroom. I would just share my screen with you first of all, so you could see that what I am talking about. Okay, so um, we have learned that how we're supposed to write down the introduction. Okay, now we have come up to uh, the part which is very important, because body means the actual matter we need to discuss in that part. So in any kind of writing, we're supposed to do it. I would start with the Precis writing. That's as per your, lecture plan, which I have shared also in your Google Classroom. You can see everyday classes which I am taking. I am taking as per lecture plan. So as per your lesson plan, we need to discuss the mechanics of writing, and we should start implementing that first on Precis writing. Okay. So before we go on to write down the Precis, and I should discuss with you about the Precis writing, I would urge you to complete your previous assignments also. So let's move to, let me, okay, let me first of all take you the way I have posted your assignment. Mm, Okay, there's assignment called assignment number 2 for CSC. Okay, when you open it up, and we can see the material. So, why it has not been signed? Right. So, assignment 2 for CSC, write down the body paragraph or paragraphs. It depends upon you that how longer you want to make your text. So I told you that I would not tell you to write down paragraphs or paragraph. I leave that up to you, on to you, that how do you take it. Aligned with your first assignment. So it is aligned with the first assignment. First assignment was to write down the introduction of the topic. The second is, in first assignment, we have learned writing introduction, and in this assignment, we will try writing body. So the topic will remain the same of assignment 1. So whatever topic we have shared in the first assignment, that was, I think, online versus offline education, or there was pandemic, I think. The question was on pandemic. What do you think? What was the question of
Yes,
assignment
sir.
number 1?
So pandemic.
Pandemic, sir.
About
Pandemic,
pandemic.
right?
Pandemic.
All right.
Pandemic.
So,
How
yes,
to
I can,
stay
yes.
motivated in this pandemic.
Yes, write on an introduction on topic of how can we be motivated into this pandemic situation. Okay, 53 on N, I have seen their answers. So now it has come up for the second assignment, and here you need to now continue. Now you have learned that how you're supposed to write down the introduction of it. So you know you can even write introduction if you want, because in assignment number one you all were adding your body part also in the introduction. So I told you that we need to exclude those points for the body. So keeping those points which we have discussed in our previous lecture, you could write down what do you call the points of what we're supposed to actually write in our introduction, right? Like the background of the topic and how is it relevant to the audience? How would you arouse the interest of the audience? These kind of things you should keep in your mind writing your introduction. So in a body, we discussed a detailed lecture that what we should add in the assignment. So I am not telling you today that write it down over here, because the introduction was smaller part. So I told you that you guys just write down um, online, like on the spot. So you have written down. For this, I just tell you that first of all, just tell me, go to your classroom and tell me that are you able to see your assignment number 2 over there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, is it
Yes,
is
sir.
it visible to everybody?
Sir, do we have to
Okay.
type this part also? Or we can,
Hmm?
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So do we have to type this part also?
You have to, yes, type this one also, because I can tell you this is a
Okay,
record
sir.
for you. I tell you this thing, this is assignment number 2. If you go on to assignment number 1, look, I tell you this thing. If I press this thing, it's a proof, because as I've told you that university is checking these things. So look, on your screen you can see Gulshan Yadav's response is there, and we have like everybody's response over here. Those who have written down. Look, it's a proof for me or for you as well. I cannot delete it. It's permanent. Right? Look, everybody's introduction is posted over here. Look. So that's why I'm telling you that everything you do, you should always do it on your Google Classroom, so that you'll not have any kind of a problem in future regarding the same. Right? So similarly, there is assignment number 2. Just try to write it down and post it in the Google Classroom only. Right? So that same like that, so that you'll have a proof of it, like yes, you have attempted your assignment. But this time you need to be more mature, because in introduction we were at a stage where we were not actually knowing that what we're supposed to write it. But now at that stage we all are aware of that what we're supposed to write. We know what is introduction, we know what is body. If you still have got confusion, you can see the previous lecture, which is on writing body part. Then by seeing that, you can write your body over here. That's very important for you, because I tell you this thing, that this is what it is actually in your subject. What they are teaching to you, they are teaching that you should know how to write. How to write means in an appropriate way. So that is more important, that in introduction, these things you should include. In body, these things you should include. Okay? Am I clear to everybody? Am I clear to
Yes, sir.
everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's for the assignment thing. Now let's come up to our today's point. And I hope you all would do it. Your class is very good. I tell you this thing. I have never got a chance to tell you this thing that you have not done it. I'm very happy. Even I have praised to your HOD, Dr. Deepti Sharma, that your class is very good, very nice. Because every time I ask something from you, you guys do it on time. So I hope the same from you, that for the assignment number 2, I need not to ask you what you're supposed to do. You just, after this lecture, when you have the free time, just open it up your assignment and write down over there as you have written down previously. Okay. So I could get the answers from you, that how you're writing your body. Again, repeating, depends upon you. You want to write 1 paragraph or you want to write down 2 paragraphs. Okay. So question is same. Now you can differentiate that what it should include in my body part. Right. So coming up to your today's lecture, as I've told you about the Precis writing. Spelling is Precis, but it has a grammar sign on top of it, which tells that it is somehow not the original word of English. We have taken this from French, and that is how the pronunciation it comes. That's why we call it as Precis, because that is the pronunciation in their language. All right. So what is it? How we supposed to write it? This is also very important, because you all have done. Look, topics are very same. You have done it in your schools, in your previous year education, but the difference it lies here. We are understanding with a more clarity that what or how we supposed to attempt it. Okay, because Precis writing, what was the purpose of writing it? Why we were doing it? Purpose of writing the Precis was that we supposed to improve our writing skills. Writing skills, now what is writing skills? Your thought process. Whatever you have in your mind, you will write down on the paper. So that is what you call a thought process, means the thoughts though which are coming into your mind, and you are somehow writing those thoughts on paper. So this makes that what exactly it is going on in your mind, because whatever we read, with the help of it, we actually try to understand that what exactly you have in your mind. You're positive, you're negative, you're pessimistic, you're optimistic, you're goal oriented. As I told you that, in a group discussion, even they would discuss, or they would also try to uh, see the same thing, right? So they ask you this thing, what do you think about this pandemic? So possibly, if you would say that it's a very dangerous situation, and I'm very much worrying about that, I could survive out of this situation or not, or how long it will go, these kind of things. And few would talk about like, definitely we will come out, and in this period, we're supposed to use precautions, but at the same time, we should also be helpful one another. And today I was reading one beautiful message, and they have said that there was a time when the sea it flooded, and a lot of fishes came out of that sea, and there was one family who was living near by the sea, and the boy like you, when he saw that fishes are losing their life, or they are into situation of panic, so he started taking those fishes and throwing them again into the sea. His mom came and asked like, why are you doing these things? These are in number of lakhs. It would be next to impossible for you to put everybody into the sea. So he replied, "Yeah, I can understand, I cannot send every fish into the sea, right? But it matters a lot to them to whom I am sending back, I am throwing back." So these are the points which you could use while you speak. So it shows that you are pessimistic. You believe in positive things rather than you look onto the negative side of it. So, right, so this is what your thought process is. So let's start what is Precis, what they are trying to say over here. So I read out. A Precis is like a miniature portrait of the passage. It retains the absolute essential points accompanied with the mood and the tone of the author of the passage. The one aspect that needs to be taken care of is that one should not add one's subjective interpretation or comments to the Precis, and should try to retain the original author's voice and opinion. So what they're trying to say, Precis is like a miniature portrait of the passage, small miniature portrait of the passage. Of course, they will ask you to write down almost one third of it, and you need to count, or it will be given to you what are the total number of words. And by seeing those total number of words, you're supposed to write your Precis. What it should have, the very first point they have clarified, they have said that do not add one's own interpretation or comments to the Precis. Should try to retain the original author's voice and opinion. So Precis is, we are making it precise, but we are not changing the original message of the author. But try to see what next they are also saying. As far as writing style is concerned, the writing should be clear and effective sentences, no rambling, and diction should be flawless. Ultimately, it is the coherence of the views presented in the Precis that matters. And this can be achieved by making sure that one is concise and to the point. Unnecessarily long sentences should be avoided, and the transition from one point to another should be smooth and consistent. Finally, the Precis should make sense and be logical in its content and presentation. So this is the definition of it. What they are trying to tell you that it should have coherence. What you are learning in writing skills, coherence. As I told you that we know that it has we call it has it has body introduction, it has body, it has conclusion. So similarly, coherence of your ideas, 1 2 3 4, we should know that this point it should come first. So first thing, second thing, third thing, fourth thing, something like that. So whenever you write down, it should be logical. There is a rule, as I tell you that you learn, we cannot copy anything. Everyone's mind is different, but we should know the basic things. That it means we should be logical. Okay, logical means in coherence, we're supposed to write it. We need to be concise. We need to be to the point. Okay, these kind of things they are trying to do. Now they are telling you what Precis is not. A very important point. And what Precis is. Well, keeping the above in mind, you need to keep in mind what Precis is not. The following are some of things that should not be a part of or a reflection of the Precis. Simply a summary of passage. They are saying don't. Simply a summary of passage. This is not Precis. Simply an abstract of a passage is not Precis. An outline of a passage, a mere selection of few important sentences from a passage, it's not Precis. A collection of disconnected facts and statements. Features of a good Precis kaun se hain? What are those features of a good Precis? So the above points, it tells you usually 80% we have done that in our previous Precis. We wrote simply a summary of a passage, or we made the abstract of it, or we just outlined the passage, or we selected few important points, important sentences from the passage and write it back, or the collection of disconnected facts and statements. Means whatever you're writing, it is not connected at what thought the author is trying to tell over here. So what are the features of a good Precis? It's marked by clarity, brevity, and precision. Is not just lifting of the sentences from the original. It should be written in the Precis writer's own words. This second sentence is actually the total crux of exactly how we're supposed to write this. We should not only lift sentences from the given passage, you should rewrite it, but your own words. So what they are encouraging over here, they are encouraging your own ability. Your own ability of thinking, your own ability of writing. This is what they are encouraging. Okay, so that is what they are trying to say. They are trying to teach over here that your writing should be more strong, your idea should be more strong, your thought process should be more stronger. Is a miniature version of the original passage. So it's a miniature version of the original passage. We should keep this thing in our mind. Whatever it has been given to us in the original, we have to make a miniature of that, portrait of that passage. Must have a logical order and be well knit and well connected. very importantly, have a logical order. We just discussed that point. Well knit and well connected. So one, one, two, two, three, three, four, four, five, well connected. It should not be like 1, 5, 2, 4, right? So coherence of the ideas as it has presented in the Precis. By seeing that, you should write down in your own words. What they are teaching, I am keep repeating. They are not teaching you, they are not making you imitator. They are making you a very good, competent writer. So that whenever you write down, it should leave impression on the mind of the audience. And now, who is audience now? Now the audience is me. I'm a teacher. Tomorrow, when you will become professionals, your audience will be the whole world. You could write down to your boss, to your board of directors. You could write down to the people, those who are junior to you. You could write down to the people, those who are at the same level in the company. You could write down to the people outside of your company, to the other companies. So you can imagine that whatever you write down, it could be an imprint which you will leave on minds of others, those who will read your writings. Okay, so that is what they are trying to do over here. They are trying to teach that, it's not, again I'm repeating, it's not compulsory, it's not necessary that you supposed to write in the same manner. Everybody is different, everybody's mind is different. So you could write down as per your own words and vocabulary, but it should be logical and coherent. Must have coherence, must use linking device such as so, therefore, and because, further, etc. So they're also trying to tell that when you try to write something longer, so you should know this thing, that how can we make connections onto it, so that when the audience would understand, would read it, would understand, okay, that sentence which now it has been written is connected to the previous one. So it's the result of, therefore this has happened, so it is the result of the previous sentence. Must have a title. Now that's very important, or the first thing. Whenever you see passage, what you're supposed to do, you should first of all try to find out the title of it. Now a lot of time a question it comes in our mind, that what would be the exact title, what will be the true title, what will be the right title. Look, I told you all the time, everybody is different. This is social science. We cannot say this thing that there would be one title who would be same for everybody. You have to see whatever title you feel like it is suitable as according to the tone of the passage, you can write it. It will be right. So we do not call it as it is wrong, but it should have the compatibility with the passage. I'll tell you in the following example. Must not contain any detail not found in the original. Like, you should not add something from your own. Precis writing, report writing are two things. You should not say something from your own. Whatever it has been said in your statement, in your text, in your message, you're supposed to follow that and rewrite in your own words. That's it. That is what you call Precis writing or the report writing. You should not add something from your own until it is said to you. In Precis, it is not required. For a report, I can say this thing, but Precis, you cannot add something from it. Because what we are doing, we are just making precise to the original text. Do's and don'ts of Precis writing. Start your Precis by highlighting the main idea of the passage, and you should create contextual environment where you can place the necessary points. Introduction. The meaning of this whole line is you need to create again an introduction. Now you would say that, sir, we have to write down 1/3 of it. How can we write the introduction? We are not writing the heading of introduction, but in our mind, we are making introduction of every passage, because this is ice breaking. You need to start your talk to somebody at least with few things at the beginning. Right? If you meet somebody, how would you start talking to that person? You would say, "Hi, how are you? I am Dr. Rakesh," and the other person would respond you, "I am uh, your name," and then we'll start discussing other things. I have come over here for this thing, so what is your purpose? So you cannot just directly go to somebody and say this thing, "What is your purpose of coming over here?" The person would say that, "Mind your work, man. Why are you talking to me like that?" Right? So every kind of conversation, it requires an introduction. So in a Prezi, we do also require introduction. So what they are trying to tell, what it should be the introduction. Start your Prezi by highlighting the main idea of the passage. So you try to pick the crux out of the passage that author is trying to talk about this thing. So this is my highlighting point, and I should start writing this thing in my introduction. And after that, where you can place the necessary points. After that, you can make it followed by the body part, the exact points you think of writing over there. Once the main idea is established in the Prezi, main idea, introduction, you can present the methods, points, facts, etc. used by the author of the passage. So whatever it has been used, whatever it has been said by the author, you can pick the same thing from it. Compress and clarify a lengthy passage, article, or book while retaining important concepts, keywords, and important data. Compress and clarify a lengthy passage. So there's a lengthy passage, you need to compress it. Article or a book while retaining important concepts, keywords, and important data. Here they are trying to give example of you are trying to make Prezi of something big. Okay, for your being student, this would not come to you, but there will be passage, and of course you need to make Prezi of it. Compress, remove what is superfluous and retain the core essence of the book, which is not necessary. Unnecessary things should be taken out. If author in his text has tried to increase the length of, and you feel like these points are unnecessary, you can exclude those. That is your work. That is what your exercise. Retain the core essence of the book. Always remember that mention about history should be advisably done in the past tense. If you talk about something which was in the past, we should use past tense. State the purpose of the research or piece of writing. Why was it important to conduct this research or write on this topic? So what is the reason of writing? So that could also come over here. So if it's a research work, that's important. It's research mean if there is something and the author is trying to research on, and why this research has been made. That is the reason behind. So that you can include by writing that why this writing was important. If somebody has written down, tomorrow people will write down research papers on COVID. Now we are fighting, but tomorrow this will be a research topic for many of the students. They would write research topics on it. Don'ts in a Prezi. Do not express your own opinion, wish, remark, or criticism. That's also very important. If you do not like what it has been said, as I've told you that in the text, do not add your own remarks. That do not criticize it. Do not praise it, do not criticize it. You need to be neutral. Do not insert any question in your Prezi. Its significance, if essential, may be expressed by a statement. So it's very dangerous. We do not know that how we introduce that into it, so leave it. Do not use abbreviations or contractions. In our previous lectures, we read about idioms, cliches, abbreviations. So they have told that do not use it. Right? Sometimes the reader would not understand what is the full form of that abbreviation, right? So try to explain it. Do not be shaky. This suggests that most probably you have not understood the sense of the passage properly. So they have said that be consistent. Do not be shaky means do not try to add information from here and there. So after that, a sense it would come up that you yourself have not understood exactly what is actually a passage. Okay, so these are the same few repetition things. They try to tell you the tips on how to write down the Precis. I think we have just discussed. Okay, so what we will do, we will try to see a sample passage of a Precis. Okay, so there is a sample passage which is given over here. I cannot read the whole passage, but I can tell you what it is. You can see it is in front of your screen. They are just trying to talk about uh, look how nicely it has said that how starting is. They have not jumped onto what they are talking about. They are saying, I'll read few lines from the start. There is an enemy beneath our feet, an enemy more deadly for his complete impartiality. He recognizes no national boundaries, no political boundaries. Everyone in the world is threatened by him. The enemy is the earth itself. When an earthquake strikes, the world trembles. So look, they were trying to tell, they were trying to talk about earthquakes. So they have not, directly jump onto earthquake is this and that. Of course, we should write down this thing when you give background information in an essay. But here in a Precis, we cannot just jump directly onto. Look how differently author has written. That is why I've said that everyone's thought process is different from others. I might write, it is possible that I would just start jump onto writing that the earthquakes, the most disastrous thing in the world. Nobody knows that when it will happen, because up to now science is not, uh, you know, uh, uh, what do you call, uh, science has not got any solution that how and when the earthquake is going to happen. They can only tell after that when the earthquake would happen that what was the area where it has happened, and what was the on a reactor scale, that what was the level of it. So I might write like that. So my thought process would be different from you. Suzanne probably would write down very nicely differently. Sumi may write differently. You know, Jaspreet would write differently. So everybody has got a different mind. I do not say that every mind is same. So let's see that this is a complete passage. It is pasted. The assignment is not online. It is pasted in your Google, posted on your Google Classroom under notes category. So you can see over there, press Precis, Precis. So you would find out this over here. So this is what a paragraph. They wrote everything, but when it does, power is immense. It strikes a modern city. The damage it causes is great as if it has struck a primitive village. So the city will become a primitive village. Gas means burst. Explosions are caused. Fires are started. So they're just trying to tell how harsh it is. So there's a complete detail. Now come up to what exactly we will find out. So there are situations, there are solutions. For example, they have said that based on the above paragraph, we arrive at the following theme sentence for the fourth paragraph. So we just try to tell that 4 titles can be made out of it. Earthquake, the deadly enemy of mankind. Damage caused by an earthquake in general. Damage caused by an earthquake in particular. 2 things, generally or particularly you are talking about. But whatever you write down, why they have given different titles? Whatever you would write down in your title, you should be ready for that. As I've told you that 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be ready with that. The following points, it should match with your title. If a title is damage caused by an earthquake in particular, and you would start giving information in general, so you can see that it's not matching. So you need to be very much careful by doing this thing. What can scientists do? This could be the 4th, very different from all the above 3. In the above 3, we are talking about earthquake, and the 4th one, we have not talked about earthquake, we have come up to what can scientists do. So what does it mean? It means that titles can be different, be varied. It can vary from one person to other person. Nothing is wrong or right, but whatever title you choose, your details should match with that title. The above four theme sentences can be developed into the following outline. Earthquake, the deadly enemy of mankind. So this is the first kind of title. If you have chosen what detail it should be, earthquake strikes all without a distinction of national boundary or political affiliation. It's not I am writing or I have written down. It is something which is given in your paragraph. They have given those this information in your paragraph. The power of a quake is greater than that of a man-made weapon of destruction. Even that is mentioned over there. I could show it to you. I have just read somewhere. In it was written man-made destruction. I wrote somewhere that I read somewhere that point. Look, mankind will have discovered a means of protecting solar earthquake strikes with a warning. It strikes a monstrosity damages constructed. Gas main burst, explosions are caused, and fires are started. Undergoing railways are wrecked. Building collapses. Bridges fall. Dams burst. Gapping crevices and appear in busy streets. If the quake strikes at sea, this could happen. So what they're just trying to tell that it is somehow more dangerous than the more deadly than anything a man would do, because it's from the nature. They have not copied any word you can see over here from the passage, but they have understood what it has been said that, and they have written that. For example, they have written the power of quake is greater than that of a man-made weapon of destruction. Scientists are trying to find out means to combat earthquakes. They'll find some way to protect themselves from earthquake. This has also been discussed. Look, scientists, they have said that that is the problem. Geologists estimate that during the tremors, the whole of the state moved over 80 feet. This faster than they talk about the earthquake which happened in Alaska. And they're trying to tell that what scientists are doing and what they are facing. So they have not written down the same lines. Scientists are trying to find out means to combat. Combat means fight. Earthquake. They'll find some way to protect themselves from the earthquake. So that is from the viewpoint of the first title. So from the viewpoint of second title, damage caused by an earthquake in general. Strikes without warning. In general, you're talking about, so everything it comes. Modern city once structured, reduced to a primitive village. So they made their own line. Sense is same, but the words are different. In particular, quake strikes plains, seas. In particular, so you give brief information about that. So in particular, you're supposed to talk about in 1755, Lisbon destroyed 450 killed. 70 Peru struck 50,000 killed. So you are specific now. So you need to give a specific detail to it. As per your title, what can the scientists do? In 1968, Alaska hit. Now you have to give details about what scientists have done. Scientists cannot resist the powerful earthquake. They can predict the place of origin to the quake so that the precautions can be taken to save man and property. Now see what I'm just trying to tell over here. I'm just trying to tell it to you. You're supposed to make it 1/3 by your title. Okay. So earthquake, the great destroyer, that is the title we finalized. We made first of all the rough draft. They are saying, make the following rough draft. Then we have the final draft. That is the, it is written with the words limit, that is 115 words. Earthquake is the mankind's deadly enemy. Earthquake strikes all without a distinction of nationality or political affiliation. The power of a quake is greater than that of any man-made weapon of destruction. So lines are totally different. You can match these lines with the original paragraph. These are different, but the statistics cannot be changed. The statistics they have used, that would remain the same, because that is not something you are making from you cannot change that 70,000 people died in Peru because it was mentioned 50,000. So it does not mean that you would change the statistics will remain same, but of course your writing text would be different. Let's see what net it says, because I always try to see, compare those things on internet as well, because we have beautiful sites which are available. So what they're trying to tell, rules for the Prezi writing. First point, it says decide theme of the passage. See, the first thing is your title. First of all, you need to find out the title of your passage. No reproduction of important sentences. We have just read, so they are also repeating the same. You will not just reproduce the important sentences. Have brevity and clarity. It reflects the intelligence of the writer. Use own language. That's very important. Your own language. Avoid direct speech and use indirect speech. Inclusion of statistical information. As I've told you that if the statistics has been used, you're supposed to take that same. Observe proportion. What they are meaning by proportion? Very important. Just read it. They are saying original passage is divided into many parts. Each part is dealt with according to the importance, but not according to the length. In this way, objectives of the Prezi writings are achieved. So it's not by the length. You cannot just make this thing that, okay, I'll write this paragraph this much lengthy and this much also should be the same like the first one. No, they are saying length, it would be according to the importance of the text. That is important. So it is not required that if you write down 3 paragraphs, small paragraphs in the, paragraphs means if you will try to leave a line, so in a Prezi, so it should not mean that, the importance of every passage is same. No comment but conclusion. So you should not make any comment, but you can conclude what it has been said over here. One thought of the original passage. So that's the last point. They try to tell that we should, our job is fulfilled if you try to convert it into the 1/3 of the original text of the passage, like the 115 words they have written. So probably this would be the 1/3 of what is the original text. Okay. So am I clear to you? Am I clear to everybody? Yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you all
Yes,
please write down your attendance in the chat box. So I could take your attendance. There is another way I could take it, but I am also want to do it manually, because if tomorrow anybody would see your video, they could see this thing that yes, we are also noting your attendance manually. You all know this thing that I have record of it. Okay, so right, very fast, huh? Everybody is doing like that. So if I would take the
Sir.
attendance, I mean the roll number of anybody, they can leave the meeting. Muhammad Sajid 1869. So what would be the roll number for Sajid? I would write down this.
I wrote, sir. I wrote already.
What is his roll number?
Sir, 20277798.
2027
7798.
7798. Okay, 798. So it's section A.
Yes.
Okay, 798. All right. Then I'm having Gulshan Kumar 778.
Yes, sir.
818 and 815. 818, 815. 795 802. 795 802. 819 364. 819 364. 798 हो गया है, 769784, 769784, 797,800, 797,800, 807 and 934, 807 and 934, then 751, 774 Fazal, 375 and 785, 375 and 785, 813 and 368, 813 and 368, 832, 825, 832, 825, 815, 371, 815, 371, 769 and 834, 769 and 834, 379 and 846, 379 and 846, 823, 823 is 760, 760, 812 and 788, 812 and 788, 841 and 768, 841 and 768, 766, 864, 793, 826, 793, 826, okay, 826, okay, 369 and 770, 369 and 770, 780 and 840, 780 and 840, 312, 374, 312, 374, 857 and 831, 857 and 831, 863 and 859, 863 and 859, 845, 762, 845, 762, 752, 839, 824, 782, 788 and 378, 366 and 860, 860, 372 and 759, 372 and 759, 823, 819, 819 and 803, 819 and 803, 777 and 772, then 779, 779 and 376 and 781, 376 and 781, 771, 793, 793. Baljit Kumar ji, please write down your roll number. Don't write your name. Suzanne 855. Eight 55. 808. 933 and 765. 933 and
सर 826 हो
765.
गया
हाँ जी बेटा.
सर 826 हो गया
बेटा अगर आपने लिखा तो जरूर हो गया. लिखा था
यस
आपने?
सर लिखा तो है सर
बिल्कुल हो गया फिर. 826 बोल रहे हो?
यस सर
हो गया बेटा.
ओके सर
765, 756. 821 and 779. 21 and 779. 779. 785, 840. 785, 840. Okay. And 765 and 311. 765 and 311. 801, 790. 801, 790. 315 and 750. 315 and 750. Okay. 852, 788, 785. ये भाई दोबारा तो नहीं लिखाए जा रहे आप लोग? सेवन 85 हो गया है. 310, 803. 310, 803 मेरे ख्याल में भी हो गया. आई थिंक यू पीपल आर जस्ट रिपीटिंग. 783, 852. सुमी अख्तर कितनी बार लिखना है बेटा आपने? And 852. Okay. इतने रोल नंबर तो आ नहीं रहे, नाम आ रहा है. रोल नंबर नहीं ना है यार, आईडीज है. रोल नंबर इन डिफरेंट. 785. हाँ जी बेटा एक मिनट. 31 852 76. अच्छी गल सर. लेक्चर चल रहा है जी, उन्होंने दस दो. 785, 826, 826, 310, 803. अभी लिखा है. 783. बेटा बार बार क्यों लिख रहे हो? 783 हो गया तो. Why are you confusing me? 852. How many time you would write down? 765, 773. Don't write again and again. It will be very confusing for me as well to you. Once you have written down, I would note it down. Why are you repeating it? 859. Now, how would I know that I have 859 is already written here? Now you again writing 859. Done, everybody. Those who have written previously, that is done. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.